is it that for people who work every bit as hard as my mother worked 2 generations ago, today find the path so much rockier and so much steeper? And for people of color, even rockier and even steeper. Why? And the answer is the same as the answer on minimum wage. It's about who government works for. Think of it this way. We have a government that works fabulously for giant drug companies, just not for people trying to get a prescription filled. We have a government that is there, works great for people who want to invest in private prisons and private detention centers. Yeah, just not for the people whose lives are destroyed and whose communities are torn apart. We have a government that works tremendously for giant oil companies that want to drill everywhere. Just not for the rest of us who see climate change bearing down upon us. From the 1990s, early 1990s, our country, our scientists, and people generally are starting to get it about what's going on climate. They're starting to get it on what it means to be putting so much carbon into the air. They were calling it global warming, but they had the basic idea. They understood. And so here's the amazing part. Democrats and Republicans were working together in Washington. They're holding hearings, they're talking about what to do. They're actually saying, do we need to give more power to the EPA? Do we need to strengthen clean air laws? What are the mechanisms that we can use to try to reduce carbon getting into our air? And then along come the Koch brothers. Oh, I see you've heard of the Koch brothers. Yes, and the big oil companies and the giant polluters. And they get together and in effect say, whoa, if Congress gets serious about this climate thing, that's going to cost us money. That's going to bite into our bottom line. So they've got an investment decision to make. They could decide, you know what, we're done with fossil fuels. We're moving to the clean, no, they don't do that. They could decide, we're going to invest in how you clean carbon out of the water, they don't do that. They make an investment decision. They decide to invest in politicians. They decide to invest in Washington. So it's campaign contributions. Oh, you bet it is, but so much more. It's about lobbyists and PR firms and think tanks, right? Oh, and one of my favorites, the bought and paid for experts, the climate deniers, right? The ones who say, oh, but the dinosaurs loved it, you know. Ask yourself, why did those guys get such a big platform? It's not because the oil industry, the Koch brothers, didn't understand the science. No, it's because the climate deniers, oh, they served a very important function. They built an umbrella over the politicians. End lobbying as we know it. Enough. Let's block the revolving door between Wall Street and Washington. Enough. I got another one for you. You might never have thought about, but I just want you to hear it because it's in this plan. And that is, make the United States Supreme Court follow basic rules of ethics. So, I could do these all night long. I really could. It's a whole thing. But let me just give you one more that would really root out some corruption. You ready? Okay, so here it is. Everyone who wants to run for federal office has to put their tax returns online.